I've only ever sung that in my bedroom.
Hi Tom.
Hi.
You recently had our friend Timothy Amundsen on your show.
I loved him.
Who was brilliant. I just wondered if you could guest star on any current running show, what would it be? I'm going to say not Game of Thrones, only because everybody says that.
Ah. Great. I'd say a show that I really loved watching recently is The Americans. Does anyone watch The Americans? What a fantastic show. Matthew Rhys is one of my favourite actors. So I'd love to do a spot on that. And also, it would be quite fun to do a Girls episode as well. Seems to be the rage these days. An episode of Girls. Lovely. All Friends, if they brought that back. Yes?
Here.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, first thing first, I really love all the musics and the backgrounds in Lucifer. Every song is really beautiful. So thanks to anyone who chose the song in the show. First thing. Second thing, okay, the plot of Lucifer is quite interesting because it's basically Lucifer that he just, run out of heaven, of hell, and is in LA and he runs a nightclub. So the plot is weird. And and I want to know what you think, what you thought the first time you saw the plot, and why you want to be part of it.
I mean, look, if you go, what's the show about, and you go, it's about the devil who didn't want to be the devil anymore, so he moved to Los Angeles and opened a nightclub. It sounds a bit far-fetched, right? I was the same. I'm going to be honest with you, when I first got the script for Lucifer, I read the front cover and I was like, oh, here we go. Show about the devil. But what I loved about it was the new spin, the new take on it, and I loved the humour in the show, and I loved the way that the character was written, because he's a sort of, he's a larger-than-life character in a kind of a real world. And so I didn't mind about all the other stuff, and it kind of makes sense if you think about it. What would the devil do? He'd open up a nightclub, a den of iniquity, where people can drink and do other things, and, why not? So it seems like a natural fit when you think about it, really. And also solving crimes. That's what the devil would do as well. Obviously. Thank you. Did that answer your question? Yeah. The answer was a lot shorter than the question. I don't know if you noticed that.
Hello. So I've just recently been made aware of the show Miranda, and I absolutely love it. How could you keep a straight face working with her? Because she's just so amazing. Like when you guys are working, and doing the scenes, how hard was it to stay in character or try not to laugh?
Well, the answer is I didn't keep a straight face. What you saw on the telly was not the first take. No, I mean, she is literally one of the funniest people I've ever met, and because we recorded it in a studio with a live audience, we would rehearse for like 3 days, and then we'd take it into the studio. So the first day of rehearsals would be the day where we got all the laughter out of the way. And then we'd have, because that'd be a Wednesday, we call it Funny Wednesday, and then we'd have Unfunny Thursday, which is like, you go in and rehearse it, and then when you've done it a few times, you forget that it's funny. And then Friday's a bit like tense, and then you take it into the studio and people start laughing again, and that's when you can relax. And we would laugh, we would break out from time to time, but the audience loved it when we did, because ultimately we were having fun on the show, and that sort of transponds onto the screen. So it was a joyous time. Much fun was had.
It's an awesome show.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was such a good...
Thank you.
Sorry.
There you go. Hi.
Hi. First of all, you sing beautifully. Your bedroom should be proud.
Oh, thanks.
Secondly, when you were in Doctor Who playing Tom, if you got to play any part of Doctor Who, what would it be?
Well, the Doctor, obviously. No, I mean, I did Doctor Who quite a few years ago now, and I had no idea at the time. Like, literally, I did one episode of Doctor Who, And I've never had more fan mail about anything that I've ever done in my life. But it's such a great show. I mean, there was a time in my life when I thought, gosh, it would be lovely to play the Doctor. I think I might have missed that boat now. But I kind of see Lucifer as my Doctor. If that helps you.
That's wonderful, thank you.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry. I wanted to know, how was it to film with Tim Ellis? You know him from Supernatural, so
Yeah.
how was it?
How was it? He's not here, so I can be really rude about it. No, I wish I could be. Tim is one of the nicest human beings that I think I've ever met, and he's, you know, he's also an exceptionally talented actor as well, which is great. And he was so good on the show. He's exactly what we needed for that character. One thing I would say about Tim is it's impossible not to get lost in his eyes when he's talking to you. He's got the most ridiculous. It's like 2 Pacific Oceans. It's ridiculous. I know. But no, what a lovely man, what an impressive beard as well.
Do you think he's ever coming back to the show?
Well, we say unless you've died, then there's always a chance of coming back. So yeah, no, I think if there's an opportunity to bring him back, we will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this question is not from me, but from a friend of mine. And she wanted to know if there were, if you could talk us about your experience on the Rush and the set of Once Upon a Time, and how different they were as set, and if you did any friends there.
Yeah, I mean, well, Once Upon a Time was a very brief job for me. I was only there for about 3 or 4 days, but I did get to work with Robert Carlyle, who's a bit of a hero of mine, and he's very, very nice. He's not as intimidating as you might think. But Rush, Rush was, it was a big job for me because it was my first kind of big job in America. But I loved that show. I really loved that show, and I was really disappointed when we didn't do any more of it. But it was. I don't think if I hadn't done Rush, I wouldn't have done Lucifer. It's one of those things in life. So what's for you won't go past you, as my granddad used to say. But yeah. It was a great experience. I'm still friends with a lot of the people from Rush, with Sarah, who played Eve, my sister, and with Lorenz, and with Rick Gonzalez, who I see quite a lot, or did see quite a lot in Vancouver, because he was working on Arrow recently. But yes, it was a good bunch of people.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
I think it does.
Ask your friend if it answers her question. Thank you.
Hi Tom.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Firstly, I love your acting.
Thank you.
You're very good.
I'll try.
I'm gonna ask the question back to you. What is your biggest desire?
Well, it's not to open a cat sanctuary, that's one. My biggest desire at the moment is that we get some fucking good people running this world at the moment. That's my biggest desire. So we talk some sense into my people from my country, and America does the right and proper thing and gets rid of that idiot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That escalated quickly.
Controversial answer.
Okay, I'm going to dial it back down a little bit, take you back a bit further.
Yeah, let's get a step away from politics.
The first thing I ever saw you in was when you did Shakespeare Retold, What You Do About Nothing.
That's one of my favourite jobs I ever did.
It's one of my favourite jobs you ever did as well. Still watch it a lot. I don't know how many people here have seen it. No,
You should watch it, it's really good. I'm not just saying that because I'm in it. I'm the worst thing in it. There you go.
You are not. Okay, so for anyone who knows Much Ado About Nothing, Claudio, who's your character, and Hero get together happily at the end in Shakespeare's original. Not so much because she gives you the boot in your version.
That's right. We thought that was more appropriate after what a dick he was to her.
Exactly. I just kind of wondered what your thoughts were about that.
Well, because it was a modern take on it, and one of the I think I love Much Ado as a play. I think it's a great play, but it is one of those kind of weird flaws at the end of the play where you go, hold on a minute, you've just done this whole thing to Hero, and now she's just openly taking you back.
Because you sang her a morbid song.
Because I sang her a morbid song. I know, and what I loved in our version was he's like, would you ever consider having me back? And she's like, I don't think so, Claudio. And he's like, okay, all right. Ever? No. Okay. No, it was good. And Billie Piper, who played Hero in that, was just brilliant. And she's got a real strength to her, Billie. And I think it wouldn't have been right if we'd sort of got together at the end. But I'm so glad you watched that, because it's literally one of my favourite jobs I've ever done. I will always remember that job.
Me too. We watch it a lot.
Oh, thank you.